milk paint. You're just not like other paints. You're different. I have been looking forward to this piece for so long, and it has been just hanging out in my storage unit, waiting for the moment. This is actually the matching piece to my favorite furniture flip ever, which was my antique hutch makeover I did with the real milk paint. And this one came out of the same house. So this furniture had been abandoned in a house with a roof leaking for quite some time, giving it a lot of water damage. I really just think that these pieces have such beautiful design lines, and I really love the way that the hutch turned out. So I'm going to be doing something similar, and I'm going to be refinishing it again with real milk paint. Have not decided on the color yet. I just put a poll on my Instagram story. I do know though that I'm going to be using this chestnut brown wax. I really love how the black wax turned out, and I want to see what the chestnut looks like. And I'm just trying to decide between a couple paint colors right now. And I think I'm gonna go with the Mocha, because I just really love how velvety the real milk paint looks with the wax over top of it. Now I realize that some people are going to be upset that I pull off this veneer, but it's probably going to be the people that don't watch the full YouTube video. And this is why. But somebody's going to comment and tell me that I just don't know how to restore a veneer. Yeah. I already know this piece is going to be really gross, just based off of the last one. I knew that was going to be satisfying. All this veneer is literally just taped on. Kind of hoping this comes off all in one piece, but I don't think that will be the case. God, I just love removing veneer so much. I just drank a bug. Gross. I think I could probably just glue it back together. I know like the common ones like oak, walnut, whatever.
Yeah, I shelves and
You guys are going to see me switching between two sanders a lot in this project, and I wanted to just stop and kind of break down why I do that. So really, I love both sanders, but they have different uses in my opinion. I always reach for the random orbital sander whenever I have a large flat surface and I'm trying to remove a lot of material very quickly, whereas the Surf Prep sander is a lot more lightweight because one, it has a cord and it's a small little rectangle, so it's just really awesome for getting in right angles and in the drawers and any tight spaces. It's just like really comfortable and easy to hold, whereas this one is much more of a beast and it's gonna get like the big jobs done quickly and very efficiently. So usually it ends up being like I'm using this sander first and then I'm coming back and getting all of the like finish work with this one. I missed a couple spots with the stripper, so I'm just gonna go back and do one more round. Say that doing this one leg at a time really worked well because the stripper didn't dry up before I was able to wipe it off, and the after wash worked miracles to rinse it off. I normally just use water, but I honestly think that this stuff works a lot better. You can use water though to rinse it because it's cheaper. All right, now that the piece is nice and stripped down to bare wood, we can see all this really pretty wood grain popping through. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a final sand with 220 grit before painting. Now, if you're wondering why I went through all of this effort to strip this piece down just to go ahead and paint it, well, there's a method to my madness. And that's where the sponsor of today's video comes into play, the Real Milk Paint. Now, this is actually the perfect product for this piece because it has this really deep, pretty wood grain that I don't want to just cover up with paint. And this paint performs a little bit differently than normal paint because it absorbs into the grain really nicely so that you can still see the grain, but it's going to cover up all these little wood-filled polka dot pigments where I had the holes, because I personally really do not like the look of these little wormholes in the wood. So this is going to give me a color with the wood grain still showing through, which is exactly what I'm looking for and exactly what I did on the hutch that matched this piece. But this time I'm going to be trying out a couple different colors. I'm doing the Mocha Brown And then I'm going to be sealing it with the chestnut brown wax. So this should come out a little bit lighter, but like a dark, rich brown. And hopefully we'll have some really pretty wood grain poking through when we're done. Now, if I wanted to use this paint on this piece without stripping it down to bare wood, I could do that. And you might get a chippy looking finish, which is really nice and in style right now, a distressed finish. I just went ahead and mixed up a 1-to-1 ratio of powder to water to get the consistency of paint that I'd like. The great thing about this product is that you can add a little bit more water if you want to do a paint wash. This is a great product to use. And I actually really like that the powder stores really nicely, so you don't have to worry about it getting clumpy over time. Nothing quite like a new paintbrush. It's so wild. This paint dries so fast that you can literally see it drying as I'm still working in the paint. So I know that by the time I finish the first coat, I can go ahead and just start the second one. You can also roll this paint, but I kind of just prefer the nice little brush stroke texture. So I've been considering the idea of retailing a paint at the Vintage Market Days of Jacksonville, but I'm not really sure just because I don't want to end up stuck with a bunch of leftover paint if it doesn't sell, and I have no idea like how much I would need to bring. But I think it would be really cool if like I have this piece at the market and like maybe somebody doesn't have the budget to buy it, but they really like the look. It would be nice to have some of this paint on hand to sell at the market. I just don't know if I want to do that or not yet. I was looking at the website though, and it does look like this paint doesn't require as much of an upfront cost to be a retailer. Like some paint companies have really big, what is it called? Like initial inventory that you have to purchase. And this one, I cannot remember what the requirements were, but I don't think it was that much. Especially because this paint too is really great for like those chippy, weathered looking vintage finishes. And I feel like that'll be the perfect target audience there because the people are coming looking for vintage or vintage inspired furniture and home decor. I know I also want to do some crafts with this paint as well. So there'll be a lot of really good examples. I think in one of my next videos, I'm going to be doing like a coat rack using all of my old knobs from furniture. That'd be a cool upcycle. If this were any other type of paint, I'd probably tell you to go ahead and stop painting because it's too humid outside. But because this is so matte and dry so quickly, I'm really not concerned about it. But if you were using like an enamel-based cabinet or furniture paint with any sort of sheen in it, your paint will not cure properly and it might not adhere if you paint in this humidity. milk paint. You're just not like other paints. You're different. If a guy ever tells you, you're not like other girls, you're different, red flag. Every time. Run. Like, what's wrong with other girls? Why can't I be like other girls? I want to be like other girls. Why do you have a problem with other girls? It's really weird that I'm talking to myself right now. I think the neighbors think I'm crazy. Now for any of the weird curvy shapes and spindles, I like to switch over to the round brush because it just does a lot better of a job. I got 2 new brushes today. Y'all are gonna think I'm big money. I actually don't want this one to dry out. First coat is on. You gotta just trust the process because she's looking real crusty right now. But we're gonna wax her after we do 3 coats. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to scuff sand with 400 grit first, in between each layer. All right, this is the moment of truth. Last time I used the warm black wax, and this time I'm using the chestnut brown wax. And I'm curious to see how dark this turns because the warm black wax made the paint a lot darker because it just kind of brings out the depth of the paint color. Now, if this isn't as dark as I was hoping, I think I might come back with the warm black wax and kind of add some more darkness in some of the nooks and crannies. I do feel like using a brush saves a lot of product because when I was applying this with a sock on a different project, I felt like I was using more product. And this, you can kind of work it in a little bit better. And then I just go back and wipe it. I've really been liking using the Spanish copper rub and buff because it just kind of looks more like bronze, honestly, to me than it does copper. And I think it just blends in with pieces so much nicer than that shiny polished brass. Because we are kind of going for like an old world rustic look anyways, so I don't want shiny, perfect looking hardware. Now that I can see everything and the way it's looking, I'm going to come back and distress some areas a little bit more and then kind of add more depth with wax in the corners. Okay, so to stage this piece, I stole some artwork from my mom's house because I knew that I didn't have anything really big enough. And I also know that my staging wall is not going to be long enough, so I'm going to try to rig hanging some curtains on one side that I found at Ross for $14.99. And hopefully this will give me a couple extra feet so that you don't see the garage in my photos. This is going to be a nice little multitasking moment because I decided to repaint these nightstands as well. I had my friend Tori do it while I was working on the sideboard, and we're going to see if they sell better as black than they did the faux wood, because this is the only set in the nightstand series that did not sell. And they have been listed for months. So this is the new look. And now this door will not stay shut. I decided to just go and grab some new hardware from Home Depot to go ahead and ensure that they both stay shut. And as I'm looking at this piece, I'm not really happy with my hardware color choice. Like, this Spanish copper is always my go-to, but I just don't think that it's suiting this piece. So I think I'm gonna go in and do the European gold. I swear, I feel like I change my mind every single project about the color of the hardware. And I'm still torn. I just want to see what it looks like. I just feel like the Spanish copper is too close to the color of the paint. And I like the monochromatic look, but it's just a little too much. Oh, that's nice. Oh, what a happy accident. Oh my gosh. The way that the Spanish copper is kind of like poking through because it dried fully from being a day is like the Spanish copper is underneath the European gold, and it's creating like this perfect like in between patinaed look. And I don't think it would have looked like this had I skipped the Spanish copper, because it would have been like too shiny looking. That is a happy accident. I'm pretty sure this piece was supposed to go in there, but I don't think it matters. Oh, I just went through all that frustration to realize that this little metal piece just needed to be bent back a little bit. And this is literally doing nothing, but a little extra support never hurt, right? Today was supposed to just be quick and easy staging. Never happens that way, does it? I'm telling you, the color of the hardware will make or break a piece. The stupid door keeps popping open again, and it just dawned on me that I think the hinge goes over here. I really should have looked it up first. It did not come with instructions. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna scream. Now it won't close all the way. We'll see if it stays shut. And it's still easy enough to open. You just have to push it. All right. Now that's a little annoying, but what are you gonna do? So this was the frame to my other wall panel that I use when I do like a corner. So I'm thinking maybe I could somehow use this scrap wood to hang the curtains. I don't know. Nobody has to know. No. Oh, what if I used my trigger clamp? Oh my God, I'm genius. These pictures better be good, dang it, because it was way more work than I normally do. Oh, she's cute. Okay, I'm thinking I'm not gonna put anything on the buffet because I don't have any big decor items that I really like, and I don't want it to feel cluttered. I feel like it's missing like a lamp or like something here. I've been trying to focus on making more of a scene rather than like stuff cluttered on the furniture because I want you to be able to see all of the furniture in the photos. Oh, that makes me nervous. Starting to look like a dining room. Blood, sweat, and respect. No, for real, I sweat my butt off staging this piece, so I hope I got some good shots. I hope you guys like it. I really want to know if you prefer this mocha finish with the chestnut brown wax, or did you like the warm ash with the warm black wax finish better? I love them both. I can't choose. I do feel like this was really suiting for the buffet, and it's just got like this dark, moody look to it, and it's very timeless. So this piece is going to be hopefully at Vintage Market Days of Jacksonville, November 15th through the 17th for sale. I'm not going to be listing it on Facebook Marketplace unless you want to buy it. Just kidding.